job with his team, with his customers, and he also did some leads. He also needs a bit of interpersonal skill training so that he can be able to overcome these obstacles that he's facing between him and his team members. He also requires customer engagement skills. He needs to understand how to relate to his customers, how to lead them, how to relate to them, how to also present information and products to them and feedback as well. And lastly, he needs to have management skills so that he can be able to work efficiently. Having know when to know the hours that he's most active and plan according to that. That will help him avoid traffic and also unnecessary distractions during this work. Thank you.
Thank you so much for group 3. You have done very well. Thank you very much. I appreciate. It means we are getting it right. Thank you. Now we will listen to group 4.
Time management skills. He has not kept time work. I've been going for work late, so he needs to be trained on that, on how principal is done. And two, this man also needs public relations skills. He's been having problems with his fellow workers. They are not good terms. He doesn't work with the other teams at work, so he needs skills in public relations. And like other people have said, he needs to improve his performance on report writing. So he needs some skills on report writing. And also thought of him needing skills on work-life balance. Yeah, he needs to allocate good time for his family. Know that okay, this is the time for my family that I need to do whatever I need to do for the family, and then there must be time for work. Don't put the two together. Yeah, so we thought of him to know what skills and knowledge on work-life balance. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a very nice one. For group 4, very nice one. We are doing well. And the last group, I think the last group is group 5. So we will hear from group 5 representative. What are the training needs that you identified for ADM? Okay. Yes, we are with you. Group 5, go ahead.
Okay, for Mr. Project to actually perform better, like others have said, you really need time management skill, you need training, time management, so that you're able to know how to avoid traffic, the time you need to leave the house, and also how to be able to submit his report on time. Apart from that, he needs group responsibilities training. He needs to be trained on what is expected of him as a part of team.
Thank you so much. Group 5, yes, we have done very well. And I will summarize all that we have said. Then we will carry on from here. Now, as I'm going to summarize, I would also like you to take note of what we have said. Now, I'm going to summarize across groups all the things that each group have mentioned and how it relates to what other groups have said. Now, all the groups agreed that it needs training in time management. So time management will be number one. You can take note of that. Time management is number one training that Mr. Deal needs. Number two training that all groups agreed on is report writing. So we can take note of that. All groups agreed that he needs a training on report writing. Then the third one is that all groups agreed that he needs a training on relationship and communication. That is a communication and interpersonal relationship. Communication, interpersonal relationship. All groups agreed that he needs training on that. So in our subsequent group work, each group will take up one of these. Then another strong training need that came up is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, that is the first one. And the fifth one, which is the last one, is on report writing. Okay, we have said report writing before. Group responsibility, emotional intelligence, communication, which other one have we not mentioned? Customer relationship. Customer relationship. So we are taking 5 out of all that has been listed here. The first one is time management. The second one is report writing. The third one is communication and interpersonal relationship. The fourth one is emotional intelligence. And the fifth one is customer service. Customer relationship or customer service. So these are the 5 training needs that all of us have agreed that Mr. Adiel will need. So let's continue with our presentation, and in the next few minutes we will go on break. Let's introduce the next. Topic. Okay. Are we seeing the slides? Okay. Are we seeing the slides?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So let's proceed. Please, can we mute our mics so that we can listen to one presentation? Yes, Edward, you have a question? Edward, your hand is up. If you have a question, please. Okay, if you don't have a question, then we can proceed. Edward, do you have any question? Okay, so let's proceed.
Let's proceed. Hello? I'm raising my hand.
Okay, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
No, no, no. I'll come.
Please, can we hear you once again? Sorry, I missed you.
I am saying that whereas group dynamics fall in the categories of trainings you have mentioned,
Okay.
because we see had a problem with these colleagues.
Okay. So the group dynamics is we are coming to that actually. Since you have asked the question already, you see the group dynamics covers all the stakeholders that are involved in the operation or activity of ADM. So we are coming to see that very soon. So we can also sorry, I'm trying to get us to where we stopped so that we can. Okay, so this is where we stopped, where we talked about Mr. Diel's trying to discover the training needs. Now let's proceed. We will answer the question of the group dynamics when we are in this session we are coming in now. So the next thing we are going to discuss is the training design. Remember we said ADI, analysis, the first one. The second one is the design, and that is where we are. Then from here we should be able to find out what training design is all about. Now, training design is the time to turn theory. The theory we are referring to here is that analysis that we have done. Remember, what we just did now is a simple training needs assessment for one person, and that is Mr. Adyen. In fact, we did not do a comprehensive analysis. We just tried to identify his training needs based on the discussions that we have had with him. So, and that is how we got it. But in a complex situation where you have a lot of staff, and you can go ahead one-on-one, start discussing with them on all this. So you have to run a very big analysis. But when you have done that and you have identified these training needs as we did now, the next thing is to go straight to your training design. Is somebody trying to ask a question? Please, if you are not asking a question, mute your mic. Please mute yourself so that we can hear from one person.
Which one?
Did you take control?
No. It's working fine. I can see your screen. This is the screen. Everyone is seeing that. It's working on fine. Or are you having any issue?
I've seen the problem. I've solved it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, before going into design, what are the factors you consider? After you have identified the training needs, please, if you are your mic is on, please you can mute your mic. Then please don't take control of the presentation, just view, because I see some people are trying to take control of the presentation and all that. So before going into design, there are factors that you consider, and these factors are classified into 5 W's and 1 H rule. That's what we call it. 5 W's and 1 H rule. The 5 W's are: what will your training be about? What are you going to train about? That is the question you ask before you go into training design. And let me say it once more again. Training design, if not the most complex, is one of the most complex when trying to plan a training. The training needs analysis is the most important. The most important is the training needs analysis. But the training design is the most complex. And that is where you are going to determine a whole lot of factors before you can say this training is okay, you can go ahead to do it. Now, the training design starts with what will you train, what will your training be about, what are you going to train people on? And that to answer that question is based on what you have identified in your training needs. Now, from Mr. Adiel, we have looked at training needs. So, if we want to train Mr. Adiel now, we will be training him on time management, report writing, communication and interpersonal relationship, emotional intelligence, and the customer service relationship. That is the first question. The second question now is, why are you doing this training? Why do you think we have to go ahead with this training? Why? The third question is, who is going to receive the training? The fourth one, when is the training going to happen? The fifth one, where is it going to happen? And the last one is, how are you going to achieve this? These are all considerations. These are all factors that you consider when you are now designing a training program. So the first one is the context. The context of a training program. Remember, we said in the first one, we said, what will your training be about? And for you to go into trying to define what the training is going to be about, you will look at the context. Some people call it background, training background. Some people call it introduction. Some people call it premise. But we know that whatever name is given to it, it all falls under the context of that training. And the training context is divided into 5 categories. The first one is the environmental context. The environmental context, it will tell you the issues, environmental issues that is going to affect that training. The surrounding, what is happening within the environment that is going to affect that training. Yes? Kathy, please, can you ask a question?
Yes, I can't see the slide.
Oh.
You can just tell him to leave and join again.
Okay, you can leave and join the program again. Is there any other person who cannot see the slide? Okay, I think we are all good. It's only Kathy. So leave and join again. I think the slide will come up. Okay, so the environment is one basic factor that determines what the context of the program, the training you are planning is going to be. As I've said, in the environment factor, there are so many things you need to consider. So, number one, what is going on within the environment? You have to take that into consideration. The mental and emotional state of the workforce, if it's an organization, or of the target audience, if it's a group of people. What is their mental or emotional state? What is going on with the environment will also reflect in their mental or emotional state. Then you think about the culture of the people. Maybe if it's an organization, you think about the organizational culture. If it is a locality or an ethnic group or a region, you think about what is their culture, what is the things that they do, how do they do their things. Now, the fourth one is the social situation of the participant, what's their social status. So, are they very rural people? Are they the elites? Are they rich people? And all that. Then the next one you think about is the technology that is available for them. What are the technology that is available within that locality that you want to train, or that will aid you in the training that you want to do? Then, when you have been able to determine that, the context, you have written the context, a very fine context, considering whatever factor. In some cases, you must not consider all the 5 factors in the context. It can be 1 or 2 factors that has a very big significance to the identified training that you write the context about. In some cases, you can choose environmental factor with social factor. You can choose status with cultural factor, depending on what you have seen or what you have analyzed that has great significance or influence that will promote that training. And the essence of the context is to condition the participants to be able to see your line of view that necessitates that training. For example, if in agriculture we are producing a lot of vegetable or fish, and you don't have, you are not selling well, and you are having a lot of waste. When you are building your context, we are going to build your context based on what or why farmers are having waste, and what are the implications of that waste to the farmer's income, to the environment where the waste is being disposed of, to health situation of people within that area, either consuming waste product, waste that are coming, or how the waste is affecting them. So these are all the things that you have to build in within the context, so that somebody who is participating in that training or who is interested will now see reasons why this training is very, very important, and what waste is doing to harm them, both economical, both health-wise, and so on and so forth. So these are all built in within that context. Then once you have been able to draft your context, and your context is very, very nice and is okay, the next thing is to do what? To generate your goal, the training goal. And the training goal is based on the context. So if the context is about waste management, what do you intend to achieve when you are going to organize this training in terms of waste management? Are you going to reduce waste, or are you going to find out a disposable alternatives? Do you want to talk about alteration, converting waste into something else? So these are the broad goals that you have to generate from your context. I think Doris is raising her hand. Doris, do you have a question? Okay. So if Doris does not have any question, then we continue. So these are the things that you will discuss when it comes to the context. I think at this point in time, we have gotten to our break time. Maybe we should take our break and our health break, and resume again in the next 25 to 30 minutes. Is that okay? Yeah. So let's have a little health break, and when we come back, we will continue with training objectives and how we are going to get our objectives done. Thank you very much. Expect to see you in 20 minutes time. Please take a walk around. Those of you that want to have your lunch or tea, depending on your location, please do that. We'll meet again in 20 minutes time. Thank you. Yeah, right now, what we meet up with football activity plan is what.
Okay.